God has brought much pain to my body and to my mind that's unhealthy for me. It's been 23, 24 years since Bill Clinton left office and placed me on a legal federal watch list against my First Amendment rights with no criminal background. You see, the same way the government can step off on your ID, this is a legal government ID, they can stick together in unity and strength and say you committed a crime and everything else, and the whole world believe them. So for the past approximately 24 years, I watched this battle with the Lord and propaganda blurtouts. I would say a good 60% of American businesses was founded off illegal money that they made off selling my privacy. They came up with Tubi TV, Netflix, Wayfair, Shark Tank, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, Zing Healthcare Insurance, Clear Spring, Humana, United CEO Healthcare Insurance. But anyway, would you want somebody to sell your privacy, outnumber the lives of your family members with corrupt feds and police wearing badges and guns, and since the office of all this misconduct and profit uh, trickle down through the office of the Bushes, uh, the Obamas. Nobody cared to stop it. Everybody wanted to pocket. Everybody saw an opportunity. And like I said, what Illinois attorney I have not contacted? What Illinois taxpayer-funded office I have not been to? What senator? I've been fighting this battle since the office of Jim Ryan, Attorney General Jim Ryan, and Roland Burris. Everybody passed the ball. They played musical chairs with their office. Before they helped me, they would quit the office or go to another job title. This is how bad this thing is. So it makes me look like a sitting target. So if I want to qualify for insurance that was made with my money, I don't want you telling me what I don't qualify for. I don't want you to have the business, period. But who's going to put a stop to it? Those who's putting the money in their pocket? Your government? So God opened my life up to this battle, and I don't appreciate it. Neither God nor man is worth fighting such a battle, such a degrading battle. And if I could see the road ahead when I accepted Jesus into my life to keep me safe and out of trouble, if I could see this mess ahead, I never would have followed him. I would have waited like everybody else, or a majority of everybody else. Wait till you see the signs of time, then get saved. But don't walk with him, because you're going to have more trouble, pain, and blood pressure trouble, or whatever pressure on you than what you had before you met him. And that's not right. If we come to you to be the Savior, you're supposed to live up to your name. Keep us safe and saved out of trouble. You don't toss us in it, because everybody else wants to recognize that you're not a safe God and go the other way. And just because you're losing the majority respect of your creation, don't burst and take it out on me. But he did. So anyway, I might be smiling on the outside, but I'm not weak to self-destruct like you want me to destruct. And the only inspiration I get from God is in the quiet hour. If I go ahead on and do that 24-hour fast and get out of here, project my spirit up there where I can, he said he will get rid of all of this down here. But you are the enemy. That's equal to knowing that I couldn't swim, could take on all this battle, but you tossed me out into the ocean. And I'm near the brink of death, drowning. So now you stick your hand down there and rescue me. So I'm supposed to praise you? They call it frenemies. We're not supposed to serve no God that's a frenemy. God been that way all his life. He will make you blind. The disciple says, well, what kind of curse fell upon this man that he should be born blind? God said, no, I made him blind so you can see that I'm a healer. Once you see that I could put this lepers on that person. I could cause that person to stop walking kind of thing. And when you see that I'm a healer, it's a testimony. Same thing he did to me. He tossed you out into a battle. He don't care how much it hurt you, as long as he could dry the tears away from your eyes, and as long as you continue to live right and go to heaven. So it's just something about him. That's a strange God. I never want to call God out his name a God thing or anything, but it doesn't care how you die, as long as you be saved when you go. It doesn't care how much he hurt you, as long as he could dry your tears, and he didn't got the victory. For example, throughout the Bible, God will slaughter 10,000 just to save 1,000,000. He will slaughter 1,000,000 just to save 2,000,000. He do stuff like that. he called it one is a vessel of honor and the other is a vessel of dishonor. And I don't like none of this gig. When I first got saved and started reading the Bible, there was a large question mark over my mind. When the children of Israel would go out and war against the enemy team, I'm like, well, if that's the enemy team, the same God created both the friend and the enemy, why can't you just say to them, y'all share the land? Why would you raise up armies to go and slaughter them men, women, and kids, you know, over land? I never really got that, you know. But even if the people didn't want to share, like Russia and Ukraine war, Ukraine don't want to share with Russia, then go somewhere else and find somebody who will. But God do things His way, you know. And and the more He say, well, fast and come home, project your spirit into the kingdom, and I'll solve your problem. A part of me is saying, don't be no fool, because hell is worse than what He did to you. You get up there, you talk about your problem up there, not down here, and let Him sort it out from up there. But when you think about Him, how could you so easily toss me out like that? How could you so without conscience, without feelings, just hurt me like that? And I never understood that. I guess mostly mothers and women can understand. How could a child hurt you so bad, but you still love them? But what if you're the one that's doing hurting to the child? How do you expect the child not to want to run away? But when a child sees that you're going to run away into something worse, what makes you think that child see you as safe to come back to? So, like I said, God put me through something far worse than a rock in a hard place, and I'm nobody's thief. But if you're standing alone in battle and you need the same God that put you in this mess to get you out of it, you might find yourself trying to say, well, hey, I know this money belongs to me, and I don't appreciate you taking anything from me. So if I take from you, what is your loss? Well, arrest her, lock her up. But why don't these laws apply to you, to U.S. government? You stole my privacy. You stole my life. You prevented a natural birth. This is about to begin since Officer Bill Clinton. I was still in my 20s, probably 25, 26. If you can have children and respectful peace and quiet, and enjoy your pursuit of happiness, because some foul, perverted government took all that away from you, you need to just turn over the entire American account to me. America ain't got no business. You ain't got no business providing for the kids. I was once somebody's child. You ain't got no business providing for the seniors. I had parents that lost their lives in this battle strategically. This government has cost me the lives of 13 family members. There may be some more. I might be dying somewhere in secret and don't know what hit them. So God has done a foul thing to me. I've always been a decent kind of person in my eyes. And in the eyes of others, I didn't have no enemies before I met the Lord. Now I got more enemies than hairs in my head. And went down to Walgreens the other day. I can hear and don't hear, what people say on the inside. But by the time I respond to it, I'm at home. So the young man at the cash register said, well, people say you steal. Now when I went there, I had a buggy that you take your grocery bag, whatever, to the back. Went to see pharmacy. On my way back, I put 6 rolls of tissue into my pharmacy bag because I'm pushing the buggy with the other hand. So I'm walking up to the counter. You see me struggling with a buggy, you stupid fool. You didn't come up and ask me, can we take the bag? Now I heard the security say, well, she got the tissue in the bag. She put some tissue in the bag. So when I got to the counter, I took the tissue out of my bag and put it on the counter. So the cash register guy, he said, anyway, I heard, and he said, well, I could ask you to stop coming here. No, you're not. Nobody fight. Well, do you see any other kind of way I can carry this tissue? So to make a long story short, I'm grieved to the max, to the unhealthy max, with stray people, but then they stray people off with dark wisdom. They could tear apart a little battle. But when you need them to get together and respect yourself and fight against this government who have the right to tell you we could put you on a federal watch list, and I'm tired of talking about it. I'm telling you what's going to become of you if you don't get up and fight against it and take my side. And if you don't get up and put your 2% mouth, they like to tear apart the 10-cent battle, and get this non-alien that they made of my household, split it up between us all from this universal peace treaty. Well, you can't prove that. We ain't got no non-alien. We got this. We'll pay for it then. This is the perfect opportunity for God to get involved and do the right thing. Can command some respect. Let these government people know that you don't have the right to park yourself in anybody's life, anybody's country, and tear it apart. But see, I don't think that day is going to come. So God has given his own answer. He said, well, when you get up here, I'll get rid of all this down here that he made. So, I got a problem with that too. So these people hated me without a cause. I never done that to them, and I'm not about to kiss your butt either. So they might click on me once a day. Yeah. We don't like to be talking. You say God going to disintegrate. Well, that is what he said. Well, don't you talk about? Well, who are you to tell me what I can and not talk about? Well, that's what we don't like. I don't care, but I tell you one thing. Uh, I'm going to get up there. I'm going to get out of his way. Yeah. And that's all I got to say. This problem is going to be solved. Whether it could be solved peacefully, or we got to bring him in. He has a history of mighty disaster. Then it's going to be solved. But ain't no president going to stand up in my face and nobody else in no court and say, well, you can't pinch off this money. Well, you pinch it off me. And you've been pinching off me for doing more than pinching. You've been pimping me since Bill Clinton left office 24 years ago. And I'm sick of it, But like I said, all of this from my head to my toe is a very unhealthy battle for me. And, and I don't appreciate no God tearing me apart, tossing me around like I lost to people, like I messed up your life. The hells are more angry with me than you are with God. I spent some time in quiet hour this morning. As long as you don't eat after midnight until 12, you can look and see spiritual plots against you. You got purgatory is packed, the space between heaven and earth, packed with people who lived here before, in this current time and in past generational years from the Ancient of Days. They send in their spirit to me like, what you gonna do? Hey, we waiting on you waiting on me for what? People on this side of life, in hell, on the other side of life, you're more pissed off with me than you is with God. That's what you can't whoop God, but you want to tear me apart. God do the same thing. You made the mess of this people all around and about, not me. So what you gonna toss me into their life for? Try to force me into their life for? No, that's way too much of me. So don't you ever fix your mouth and say, I still. You want to see 2% of a picture. I ain't stole nothing that didn't already belong to me. Both spiritually and naturally. And then again, like I said, when they cut you off until you don't qualify, my privacy, Darien, nudity, life, founded that whole business, paying your rent, your mortgage, your house note, car note, but you're going to tell me what I cannot have. I don't agree with that. And how exciting does it look for me to, only solution I have is to believe in God's wrath, destructions. To go back to him with a smile. I'm not smiling at you either. I'm not neither smiling at you or them. So what did you write this mess of my life for? The answer I get out of him is what I told you before. Well, you said you don't want me. Nobody want nobody like you. Like I said earlier, only parents could understand something like that. Got a child that you'll die for, that you let them tear you apart and everything, but you still keep on forgiving and taking them back and taking them back. But think about it. When God did it to you, you get to the point you just don't want them back. But ain't nowhere to go but to more destruction and into the hells. So we all messed up in mind from head to toe. I'm not dangerous or anything, but I wouldn't say that. You know what I'm saying? We all got some mess around the corner, but ain't nobody thief. You are the 2-bit piece of so and so and such that want to put your 2-bit piece of mouth on a 2% problem and deny what you see this government doing all around the world. You want to deny that 98% of problem and expect me to accept and receive. Well, you can't win what you can't change. You can't do nothing about it, so you might as well accept it. Let them walk over you. Let them build anything off your privacy. Let them go on your skirts some more. Put out some more cruise ships and stuff. Let them do it, no you don't. You have to do what the parents do. Swallow your spit. And go back to the same God that put you in this mess. I'll never figure that. Sometimes you just got to call back, whether you like that person or not. Like that God or not.